So at the top, all of our solutions you'll see have multiple filters so that you can basically use the solution to query your data and then have different views of the data. So the goal of this solution is to give the advisors and other student support staff a single source of data in order to identify students that are at risk of retention. And in this data, we've actually combined data from both Zanzibar and Smarter Measures data. So then moving to the next section, we've got some key metrics that we want to visualize and have up front to look at trends across different metrics. So you can see we want to look at metrics for first generation, if students are fully online, the ethnicity, non-traditional, and if students are on academic probation, which is a factor for student retention. And then in the bottom section, we've got a detailed table of students, and what we have in the table is that we have various data points that help understand how the students are at risk for retention. So we'll talk later about, we do have a risk score, and then we have different other variables. So we can use multiple variables to understand the student risk, and these are those variables. And then on the right side, we in this solution, we allow the advisors or other support staff to then follow up with the students and track that in the solution, right? So we can indicate whether they've been contacted in the first 30 days, whether they have an advising appointment, what type of advising appointment. And then another important factor is to look at whether they're enrolled next term. And then this just gives you, the last column gives you an overall summary whether they're at risk or not at risk for retention. And we like our solutions to always be so that you have the ability to take action. And so one of the key features of this is that if you click on a student, you have different actions that you can take. You can email the student, you can email the advisor, you can go to a detail page, which I'll cover in a minute, and then also set those flags that I just mentioned on the right side. So then when you click on a student, you get there's some detailed information that you can now see on the student. You can see some details about the student. You see their course history and performance, their GPA, both cumulative and semester, and then you can see what their risk score is. And this also shows at the bottom the variables of that risk score, and we indicate with the plus if those variables are included in the risk score. And so you can see here, if you take the pluses and add them up, and GPA actually gets a additional score to add up to the 8 in the risk score. And then at the bottom, we also include the Smarter Measures data, which is the surveys that the students take on their experience. And we also indicate if those are also a factor in their retention and look at certain variables that may indicate risk of retention for the student. So some of the ways that this solution has helped the team at Cowley, again, this gives them one view. The advisors have one view where they can see and assess the students that they need to follow up on. And by doing this outreach early, then they can reach out and help guide the students earlier in the semester instead of waiting until later.